Hey guys, what's up? And welcome back to another episode of Four Dads Podcast. I believe we're at 110 now, which is wild every time I say over 100. But welcome to another episode. And hopefully, you guys have had a good week. And a lot has happened over the last week and a half, I believe, or last week since we had our last podcast. Definitely want to start with the breaking news today from Barstool. Dave Portnoy, I think it's CEO, founder, he threw out there into the Twitter sphere, into social media, that they're going to host a tournament. And it's not going to be the Barstool Classic where, you can sign up and play with your boys and have fun. It's going to be called literally the Internet Classic. He said, good golfers, bad golfers, all content creators, good and bad, not just, the best of the best. And he even had like a little video where he was like, this is what I want to see. Like, you're on the 18th tee, you're shaking, and he takes a swing and he basically like hits it like 3 feet. And like, you shank it. This is what I want to see. I want you to live for this with a $1 million person minimum. Apparently 9 months ago, he said, hey, you guys get me, some of like the top golf YouTube content creators, I'll front the money, minimum of $1 million out of his pocket, probably plus whatever donors that he can get as well, or donations or anything like that. And mid-August, they are going to be hosting it, I believe, at Top of the Rock or wherever. I'm blanking what the specific name is, but I think it's in like Missouri. And looks wild, being hosted by Bob Does Sports. And yeah, I mean, what are your thoughts on that, Don Julio? It kind of makes good kind of look like from their 100,000, a couple years ago that they did for the Good Classic.
My only statement is it's about time. I think. I mean, you know, Portnoy and Barstool have really kind of seen a whole nother side of their business because of what they've been doing in golf, right? The whole line of Saturdays are for the boys. They
Mm-hmm.
have the whole, golfers podcast, all this different stuff. I mean, it's about time. And so now that he's opened up this announcement about the Internet Invitational, um, I mean, we've been talking about this. We've been talking about scenarios like this for the longest time. And it's just crazy that everything we've been speaking about how the game's changing, what's going to be going on within the game of golf, and where are the new fans leading to?
Yeah.
This is exactly it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's crazy. I had a conversation with somebody who was talking about, you know, who was talking about what kind of brought them into golf, and it was them watching Micah Morris,
Mm-hmm.
like Grant Horvat, Bryson DeChambeau's page, all these different guys.
Yeah.
And I mean, I remember what this year will be 10 years that I have been playing golf, like really playing golf.
Yeah.
And I just remember it was the Golf Channel that kind of sparked my whole interest in wanting to be good at golf, like get a good solid, swing foundation down, and
Mm-hmm.
finding tips on how to transition my baseball swing to a
Yeah.
golf swing.
Yeah. Right.
And so now nobody's looking at the Golf Channel. Everyone's going straight to YouTube and just
Mm-hmm.
watching a 30-minute to an hour clip of their, of their favorite YouTube golfer just play this incredible course. And now it's like, again, this is going against everything that we've been seeing for years. Is just like, oh my god, here comes the Byron Nelson, here comes the um the Arnold Palmer Invitational, here comes all this. It's like people are getting more excited about YouTube golfers playing in tournaments than just watching golf itself,
Yeah.
right? um and again, like I said, this is just something that we have been talking about, and it's crazy to see it come to fruition. I mean, I'm excited about it. It'd be cool to see what goes down, what are the requirements as far as your popularity on the internet, and
Right.
how
Yeah.
to
He was very vague. He definitely was very vague with that. And he said it says invite only. So I
mm,
literally reached on every single platform they posted on, like, let me in, let us in. My wife doesn't know this, but if we get invited, we're definitely gonna have to go, no matter what. I mean, if there's a chance to win any kind of money,
Yeah.
even though I know there's no chance for us, it has to be like a scramble or like a 2-man kind of thing. Because if it's like a 1-man
I wouldn't
thing,
be
then it
surprised.
definitely
I
would
wouldn't be
be.
surprised if it's like a format like the Zurich, right? You take your
That'd be
two
dope. I
friends, you
mean, yeah,
play best,
hmm
right?
that'd be more
It could
entertaining
be
for
four
good and
days.
bad. You know?
Yeah, I mean, what if it was like this? What if the format was the first day you play a two man scramble best ball, right?
hmm
Just
hmm
whatever that score is, right? But
Yeah,
you take that. Then the next day would be like a two-man alternate shot. So you're switching every
kind of like
shot
a
to
Ryder
then
Cup
take,
setting, right? Where you have
yeah,
like different
kind
things
of,
every single day, but like,
the last day is just a straight up match play
hmm
between the field, right? And it's just you playing your own ball, seeing if your team can get the lowest combined score in total. Like that would be pretty legit. Now,
yeah.
I'm also curious: is it just going to be straight up, or are you going to have handicaps in place?
I would
Because
assume that the handicaps are out the window. I would assume that because otherwise, like you could have because in that case, if you don't have a gin or a gin or however you say it, like then you're not going to be, you know, eligible, right? Because there's no
mhm,
way to legitimately track you. And even then, with you tracking somebody, even if they're a high-ish YouTuber or a popular YouTuber, there's easy ways to like sandbag, just not play too well and change your gin and things like that. I would assume it's straight up because you could change that so easily. Like I've seen a few posts. I think there's one specific guy on social media, whether it's Instagram or Twitter or TikTok, that literally just finds sandbaggers at different tournaments and calls them out based off of their gym. When people like send them like, hey, check this out. Like this dude like shot what was it? This one guy recently just posted something, and this guy joined and shot a 78 and 79, but he was playing as a plus four, he was playing as a 14 handicap. And that becomes a net 59 and a net 60 or whatever, based off of the slope and the course, difficulty rating and all that. And he was looking at his scores, and he legitimately was an ace, but for whatever reason, I forget what he was doing, that it became like a 14, or he played it. I think his gym was an 8, but he played as a 14 somehow. Like they were able to get that going. And like, I definitely, it has to be straight up. It has to be. I mean, that's the only way that you could someone should be like, hey, like gives everyone a fair shot, good and bad. I don't know.
yeah. So to that last year for the Sonoma Amateur, someone was pumping a bunch of fake scores
Oh, jeez.
into their thing to where the USGA got involved and was like, "Hey, you can't play in this tournament. Like you're well they didn't blacklist him, but they put like an asterisk next to his gin saying like they have to put under review, which means he can't compete in any tournaments or do anything.
Until it was done being reviewed.
Yeah, until it was done being
Jeez.
reviewed. But my only thing with that, right, is just I mean, we see a lot of these YouTube golfers, right? We see a lot of them, and it's just kind of like, is it is it actually fair if you just put like a straight like, hey, it's all it's a head to head like we're take there's no handicaps in this, right?
hmm
Is it
hmm
actually fair? Because I mean, if you have guys like if you have guys like Brad and
Like the Brian Bros or
well,
people
not
with
even
like,
yeah, I mean the Brian Bros, but like Brad and like Matt Schaefer, whatever that guy's name is, from Good Good. I mean, Brad's basically a pro, right? And
and Matt's plays like a 12 or something like that, I think, right?
yeah, it's like still, those dudes are good. So it's like if someone were to compete who's maybe not at that level, they're just donating at this point, right? It's just an appearance. But I guess,
hmm
any kind of exposure is good exposure.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if there is a way to figure that out to make it fair across the board. Maybe it's throwing in a scramble or something like that to even it out more, but instead of playing it more of an individual way. Because when it
Hmm.
comes to individual way, then yes, you're definitely going to have like Bob the Sports or Bob Burger is not going to be able to hang with like a Grant Horvat, or even just maybe then like a Fat Perez, going against Fat Perez, he would not. Uh, win majority of the time. Fat Perez would have his number 9 times out of 10, and it just would kind of be lopsided. No disrespect to
Yeah.
him, but it's like me going up against a Grant Horvat or me going up against you, non-lopsided. I feel like you have a much better chance across the board, like majority of the time, to beat me straight up. If we were going straight up, like 9 times out of 10, you have a better chance to beat me than no disrespect to me. It's just you play more, you play longer, you have better swing. Like you know what I mean? Like it's just
I think you're not giving yourself enough credit,
I
but
know,
you
no,
know,
I
you
know,
can
I
keep going.
understand that, but I'm just saying, like in comparison to us, yeah,
Yeah. No, I get it. I get it. Yeah, I mean that it'll be interesting to see how Portnoy kind of puts together the format of this. But
right.
also, dude, I mean, have you ever seen or heard of Top of the Rock golf course in at Big Cedar Lodge?
Just from 2K25, I know they put I think it was Top of the Rock, which is the par 3 course, and like their matchmaking, and a lot of people are annoyed because par 3s are really annoying. But it's a beautiful course, looks great. I
It's
mean, the video they showed looked amazing.
Yeah, Big Cedar Lodge is like it is a great place to go. I was watching the GGG girls. The
Mm.
like it's like what's her name? Sabrina. I'm not even gonna take a shot at her last name. It's crazy hard. But dude, these girls rock. I mean, they're really good players, and they were out there for like a week and a half, and they were playing.
All these different
It's
courses, probably.
Yeah, all these different courses, but it's owned by Johnny Morris, who's the CEO and founder of Bass Pro Shop.
Oh, no way. Okay.
Yeah, so it's you're right, it is in Missouri. It's in Branson, Missouri.
Yeah, okay. I was actually talking because Kyle Lowen,
Hmm.
he is there right now.
Yeah.
And literally he's literally there right now, and he was posting like he was in I think like Springfield, Illinois, and I was like,
Oh
what are you
yeah,
doing out?
and then that tornado came through, huh?
Exactly. He had like a video of like all of the stuff going through. I'm like, dude, what are you doing out there? Like, and he's like, something out here for family or whatever. And then he said, we're going out to Branson. And I was like, oh, no way. Like, I went there once, probably like 20 years. No, what was it? NCAA football 05 came out. So it was a summer. It just came out. So it was July of 2004, because that game is the year out before when it comes out or when it's released. And so we're in Branson. My cousins had like I don't know if they had like a timeshare or something in Branson, like we're off of right off of like one of the lakes. And we were there for like a week and a half, 2 weeks with the family. And they have a sweet little strip out there with like the
Mhm.
Dixie Stampede and things like that, where they just have like a lot of like shows, kind of like that you would have in like Las Vegas.
Mhm.
But yeah, that and then we went to like a nice water park out there too. Really cool little area, but that's the only time I've been out there. And just in the middle of like, I feel like right in the middle of the United States, like boom, like Branson's like right there. But
Yeah.
definitely did not golf back then. But uh, it's just wild that I have been there. One of the few places like Branson, like just it's so random. Like
Yeah. I've only heard of it. I've seen photos, and then like even like Dude Perfect did like a challenge out there for the golf course when they were just starting to get into like the golf play.
mm,
I just remember seeing the drone view of the top, and it's literally like this rock quarry with a golf course built in between. It's insane.
no way.
One of the signature holes is like there's a waterfall on like a short par four where you hit your drive, but then you have like a narrow kind of you have like a narrow window where you can see the pin,
Hmm.
and you have to hit it. It's about probably 50 feet above you, and then and then the green is right there tucked between the rock quarries.
Dang,
So pretty neat.
that's
But
pretty dope.
yeah, I guess kind of going to crazy courses and conditions. Like, dude, did you get a chance to watch Live and hear about some of
Dude,
the distances that people were
Live
hitting the
Mexico was
ball?
wild, dude.
It was wild.
I think John Rahm shot or drove a par for 470 yards.
470, yeah,
Like,
475 yards
oh
past the pin.
yeah, past it.
Yeah,
In freaking insane.
Yeah,
Um,
it was incredible. I mean, I caught some glimpses of it. I didn't get to watch as much of it as I really wanted to, but how
yeah.
awesome is it for Joaquin Neiman to win in his city at 16 under? Bryson DeChambeau shoots 13, right? And then you have Lucas Herbert who's at 13 under. Like, dude, I mean, just unbelievable how far they were hitting the ball and
What was it a
kind of
7-iron that Bryson hit like 270 or something? Like it was
yeah, he was
stupid.
hitting that was insane. He was hitting it like I think you're right, like 250, 250, 270.
Dude.
Unbelievable.
But I mean, it was wild. I watched a little bit of it. I had family over the weekend. Um, but Bryson again Sunday struggling to hold that lead that he had on Sunday, and he goes back to his irons. He's having some issues with the irons, and I know you and me have an idea of what's going on with those, but I can't share it out loud. But it's just wild to see what's going to happen in the future. Um,
Hmm.
and if everything gets sorted out, because that's honestly what I feel like is holding him back.
Yeah, I mean, I feel the exact same. It's just I'm kind of I don't know. I feel like I'm going through like the same kind of feeling right now, trying to adjust to my Voda irons as well as what I've been playing for so long. You
Oh
know,
yeah, right, of course.
it's definitely taking me some time where it's like I'm hitting like I went and played skins today, and I had I had like a shot on the par five, 200 on the dot, took my seven, and I peered it, carried it like carried it at least 215, like on the backside of the green, bounces off the back, have the same shot or have another shot around the same number on the next par five, and I came up short.
No way.
Like I hit it like 183, and I was like, those shots felt the exact same. I was like, this doesn't make any sense. So it's kind of been all over,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's tough making an adjustment, dude. Like it's like I said, I didn't need new orange because I love what I have, but I'm just having a really hard time like looking down at it and being like, yeah, this looks good. You
Well, yeah,
know,
you've been playing your Callaways for at least a
5 years,
decade.
5 years.
Well, really? Okay? What did you play? I thought what'd you play before?
I had Callaways also, but I mean these ones,
Oh, okay. These ones specifically
yeah,
5 years. Gotcha. Okay, okay.
yeah, these ones I had for 5 years, but I guess I guess adjustment wise, there really wasn't much of a difference aside from like my other or my set currently now has like the perimeter weighting in the center, right? Where my other ones had like the perimeter weighting all across the sole.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So they
Interesting.
just moved it higher so in that way you can get more of a penetrating flight. They're a little bit longer, feel softer. But I mean, dude, when I connect with the Avodas, it's like, holy smokes, like that's fun. That's cool to see. But when I don't, I'm just like, what is going on with these things? Like, what's going on? This doesn't make any sense.
Dude, that's wild. I know last week, and I went to the range again this week, and I I was just messing around, just because I wasn't really hadn't really been having too much fun, just like practicing with. Obviously, I'm playing with Brandon's irons still. Like they're not going to be the irons that I play. They're different shafts. My shafts are, I think, 120 grams. His are 95 or 110. So whatever, like they're lighter than what I'm going to be normally playing. I think they're
Hmm.
110. Sorry, maybe not 90. Extra stiff still, but like it's kind of like why get used to these when I'm not going to be playing with them. Like it's hard for me like to justify using that time that I have on things that aren't going to be in my bag. Especially, I should be getting my irons by the end of this month. Um, and I was just messing around with the ball placement in my stance, and I just put it back one ball. I'd say one ball back in my stance for my 5-iron, which I struggle, especially with theirs because they're really strong. And I think close to
Hmm.
like a 21-degree, face for the 5-iron. And dude, I was smashing it. I was like, all I had to do was move this thing in the back of my stance, and I was fighting it well. I was not hitting it low. It was just just peering it. I was like, "You've got to be kidding me!" That's all I needed to do because I had it too far in front of my stance. I usually put it maybe just a tad in front of right down the middle with the longer
Mhm.
irons, like they trying to tell you. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. That's that easy. So I was doing that again last time I went to the range, I think on Tuesday. And same thing, felt really good. And I was like, okay, cool. Okay.
Dude, you know what? That is such a good point, but I think the reason why you moving it back in your stance is because Brandon's shafts are a little bit lighter. The kick is probably a little bit higher on them. So if you hitting it in front, they're not as stout, so they're not holding as much. So you hitting it behind allows that club to whip at that right time.
Could be.
Because
Yeah.
I mean, that was how I played it when I played those tailor mades at Disney World when I was in Orlando, right? I
You
mean,
have to really move things
yeah.
around there. Yeah.
I mean, even then, like the driver I was hitting middle of my stance, right? And I mean,
Boy.
ripping it. And
Jeez.
I mean, again, that was a 45, 45 45 gram stiff shaft, right?
Oh my
And
gosh.
even when I went to Vegas and I played those Cleveland launchers, it was the same thing. I was playing everything middle, but dude, I could not miss. That's the only thing that blows my mind is like, am I doing something wrong here? Like, do I need extra stiff shafts, or should I just play like something off the rack and just set it up and let it go? Because I was like, clearly I didn't struggle at all here.
Yeah.
I had two great rounds playing rental clubs for the first time. Net didn't lose a ball, and I went three under on the front at Disneyland to then go three over on the back to shoot even. Then I go to Vegas to play a course I've never played.
Hmm.
The guy gave me a free set of those martini teas. And
Living life.
yeah, dude, and like then and there I shot 68. I shot two under. I was
Jeez.
It was like crazy. I don't know, man. It made me definitely rethink my own bag for a second because I was like,
Right.
I hit those so pure.
Dang, dude. I mean, must be nice.
I
People
don't
would
know.
kill to break 70, and you're out here just playing clubs you've never hit before at a course you've never played at. And you're just like, well, I could have shot, like you
Yeah,
have what a lot of people want.
and then today I go and play a course that I've played literally like a million times, and I shoot 76. Like, dude, today was literally the most boring skins game I've ever had. I was getting up and down, and some of the
Mm,
pars I made felt like birdies or eagles, and I'm just like, holy smokes. But I had two bogeys, one double to shoot four over. Everything else parred out.
dang.
Boring.
Boring golf. Will
I dropped
Zalatoris.
a I dropped a bomb putt from like 30 feet on one of the par threes, just down in the front, pins way in the back, and I'm like, I see the line. I'm just gonna just put a roll on it, and it just goes like this, just right at the end, just right on the backside, and falls right in. I'm like, oh my
Oh, that's such
god!
a
Like
great feeling.
I was like, I can't believe like that. Like I can't believe that. That's wild. And I was like, what a par save.
Dude, that's
Yeah,
wild. How is the editing going for your videos? Speaking of your par
it's
saves.
it's not doing anything right now. My computer is saying that I have to update it, and it's not allowing me to put the Final Cut stuff in. Dude, it's like block after block after block. I'm like, what
Goodness
is going on?
gracious. No.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm even thinking maybe I should just pay for like
for someone to put it
Dropbox.
together.
No, no,
Oh,
just
Dropbox.
pay
Okay.
just pay for Dropbox and just be like, okay, here, I'm sharing the file with you. Go ahead and you edit it then, because
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't get this. Like, why is it so hard to one like consolidate all the videos that you're taking, put them in, but then two, you have to spend all this time to then fix everything, put everything together. And it's like, why hasn't someone just dropped like Drop like an AI video editor where it just takes everything and based off of the way that you put it in, and then just compiles it, and bam, it's done.
There probably is, honestly.
I feel like it's Adobe, but you have to spend freaking
Yeah,
a
buku bucks.
grip. Yeah, a
Yeah,
grip to
right.
do it.
A subscription fee because they know that if you just pay a one-time fee, they're not going to make enough off you.
Yeah, exactly.
Have we talked about Max Homa's caddy yet tonight?
So no, we haven't, but that's an interesting like kind of situation that's going on right now. So
Yeah, I
Max
agree.
Home, what look at the caddy's name. What's his name?
All right, let's see here. Let's see here. No, it said new caddy. Old caddy. Joe Griner. Joe Griner, I think.
Joe Griner. Okay, so Joe Griner's let go by Max Homa, goes onto the bag with Justin Thomas for the Masters and the RBC, gets paid out great.
Mm-hmm.
They obviously had some good chemistry.
Yeah.
But apparently there was an agreement between the two of them stating that Justin Thomas has his primary caddy. He just needed someone to fill in for on the bag for whatever that other caddy was doing, which meant that he didn't have a contract in place with a new golfer or with a new pro. And now Colin Morikawa just separated from his best friend
Mm-hmm.
and picked up Joe Griner.
Yeah, must have gotten a rave review from Max Homa. I mean, they both played at Cal together, so I assume there's some kind of a connection there.
Yeah.
For that. But that's wild. I mean, he's been living pretty well the last few weeks. Last month or
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, for sure. Colin's a contender
Yep.
every tournament.
Uh-huh.
So if he continues on his, on his trip, I think he'll have a pretty good career with Colin, at least being in contention for a lot of big stuff. Not
Yeah,
even
I mean,
seeing
like,
Colin's name on the Byron Nelson's list right
you
now.
mean CJ Cup?
Yeah, the CJ Cup buyer at the Byron Nelson.
Oh,
Yeah, not
is
even
it?
seeing his
Yeah,
name.
right. Okay. I feel like it's just right when Max Homa started like trailing off and like not doing too well before they separated. It was like I don't know. It's just when it comes to caddying, it's such a rare craft, and I don't feel like it's too common for people to switch caddies unless like they were a top golfer and then all of a sudden they just are terrible and they just are going through all these caddies, just to try and see who matches with them. But to get picked up by Justin Thomas, even if it's part time, and then to win within like 2 weeks of being with this guy, this brand new guy, and then to sign full time with a 2-time major winner. Yeah, he played, I think, at the same time as Max Homa did at Cal, but like the odds of that, because Max Homa hasn't really won anything. He's won a few tournaments. I think he's won.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's won like one or two tournaments. So he hasn't done too much. He's been like a top 10 player of the world. He's played very well in the Ryder Cup, but in terms of winning, not top tens or whatever. He hasn't done too well, and even some of the majors he's struggled in, pretty vitally. So it'll be interesting to see how well he does with Colin in the PGA Championship that's coming up in a few weeks. Just because Max has usually kind of struggled. I remember this will always stick with me, and if I could say it right, that'd be great. I just hope I don't butcher it. What was it? The Sunday conversation with Caleb Presley from Barstool Sports. He always has like these 3-4 minute interviews, and they're hilarious. He's always keeping a straight face. And what did he say about Max? He interviewed Max Homa, and he goes, "What do you say to people who say, hey, Max Homa doesn't like working on weekends?" You know, he never makes a major cut or whatever. You know, like it's just like, you know, he's a golfer, and obviously that just means he's constantly missing cuts in like the biggest moments. And Max is just trying to like not die out laughing because I mean it is kind of funny the way that he words it, but he's like, well, you know, you gotta have a good work-life balance, you know.
Yeah.
But like,
What do
it's
you say to
unfortunate.
that, Max Homa?
Yeah, right. But that's one thing
Yeah.
that he's definitely struggled with. So it'll be interesting to see how it works. If it's the caddy, if that had a lot to do with it, or if it's obviously a lot of it is the player, but the caddy does definitely round out the player for sure.
Well, I mean, I think we've seen a lot of different, you know, a lot of different relationships between caddies and
Mm-hmm.
player, right? I
Yeah,
mean, even with the documentary that, you know, is coming out with Tiger Woods, the Netflix special
I saw that. Yeah.
with Steve, I think his name was Steven, his caddy for a long time. I mean, he even said in the HBO special that he was just like, look, Tiger knew his game. I was just there to basically confirm what he thought. He's like, it really wasn't a lot of
Yeah. Yeah.
me
Right.
saying, no, hey, you need to take this. And he's like, and on the few rare occasions where I did, he's like, it was the hardest thing that I had to do because if it doesn't play out to the way that Tiger saw it, it's kind of
Yeah.
like it's on me,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And you see that with Jordan. Like Jordan Spieth is like, I mean, he gives his caddy a tongue lashing if something doesn't go according to what it is, right? And um you used to see that a lot with Bubba Watson too. Like he's like, a 5-iron, huh? Okay, cool. Now he's like, now we're super long. We got to make this shot up. Like, all right, thanks. You know, but again, it's just tough. And again, like with Max Homa, just struck. I don't want to say he's been struggling, but just the unfortunate the unfortunate situations he's had in his career where yes, he didn't see a lot of weekends. Was he's always kind of been tinkering with his swing. It's just I don't even know how to put it. It just seems like it's just one of those things where I think he just needs to do some self digging for himself. It may not even just be his caddy, right? It could just
Mm-hmm.
totally be him,
Yeah.
and
100%.
it's hard to admit that, right? And
Yeah. Oh
so
yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah, so but you know, best of luck to this guy Joe. I think Colin's been playing some solid golf and
Mm-hmm.
just needs to you know just pulling some wins. He's right there. He's been right at the cusp for the longest
Yeah, he
time.
definitely has. He definitely has. And I mean, you bring up a good point of the types of caddies that are out there and the relationships they have with their players. I feel
Mhm.
like with Tiger, that's probably like you said, probably one of the most difficult ones because obviously when you're playing with someone so good as Tiger, who's so dedicated to the craft, like that you've really never seen before. And I know people that usually always said, especially when it comes to the NFL draft, no one prepares like he prepares ever. And it's like, dude, he's in college. Like, there's no way he prepares more than like, you know, Tom Brady does, or like who's literally shown it. But that's like one of the things that they try to strive for. But then you have someone like I still remember Pat Perez, not Fat Perez. Get that mixed up. Pat Perez, the OG.
Yeah.
He said a few years ago, maybe 5-10 years ago, that like with his caddy, he trusts his caddy 100%. His caddy knows his distances, and he just tells him, "Hey, what do I need on this shot?" It's like he's like, "I don't know my distances. My caddy does. My caddy knows. Hey, hit a 3/4 with 8-iron. Okay, I can do that, or hit a 4/5 or whatever the degree is of the shot. Do it. Here's the shot. Hit the shot." He's like that caddy tells me what to do compared to like you were saying with Tiger Woods and his caddy Steve, where he was just like, hey, I'm just confirming what he was seeing.
Mhm.
And some people need that and some people don't, and it's always really interesting to see how those relationships work because everyone's a little bit different and some people need different things, obviously, right? um but yeah, because I still remember that with Pat Perez, and that's still just like it's like wow, that's kind of wild that like that caddy obviously had to be there for like every single training session to see the distances that he's getting for his clubs, the irons,
Yeah.
the woods, and everything. Okay, let's just do a half swing. Let's just do a quarter swing. Let's do a 3/4 swing. Let's see where we're going here, like just so we get these distances down. And he has maybe a book or something down where he has whether that or it's all just mental. And I was like, that's wow, that's a lot of faith in your caddy. And then at the same time, it's like if the caddy messes up, well, then it's all on the caddy, though, and it's just wild, the whole relationship. There's just the fact of having a caddy, just so weird. Like no other sport. It's not like a pitcher. Imagine having a caddy as a pitcher. I'm thinking slider down and in. What do you think? I don't know,
I think,
dude. He was fishing for it last
well,
time. Like,
I think that would be your catcher, right?
well, yes. Well, no, in the sense that like he's in your ear. Like you ask him confirmation. Catcher is more like yes or no. I shake. You're not really having a conversation. Obviously, you know what I mean. Like,
yeah, but you have to have the relationship between your catcher
no,
to be
you
like,
do. You do. No, I
yeah,
get that. I get that. But what I'm saying is like you specifically are talking about every single thing you're about to do, right? So for pitching, it's every single pitch. It's you talk through that pitch. Obviously, you don't have much time to do that now, like you do with golf. But like, it's just wild. I know that they've implemented it in shows as like a joke. Like I know there's a Seinfeld where Kramer got into golf and he was like a huge golfer and he had a caddy and so he had his caddy just following him around asking him if he should go for this or should I do it? Should I not do it? His caddy's just over his shoulder like go for the green. You should go for it. Like no, play it safe here. Play it safe. I wouldn't recommend stay off on the beer. Don't maybe not. Maybe have soda tonight. It's just like so like just the relationship with the caddy has always been an interesting one to me because it's so like you don't have it in any other sport,
100%. I agree. Yeah, man. I kind of see your point with I kind of see your point, but I kind of also disagree with the pitcher catcher dynamic because I feel like once you get into the dugout, you're talking about situational play the next,
True.
the next outing. So it's kind of the same. And then because you have a relationship with your catcher, like you don't really have to. It's kind of like the unspoken agreement, right? Like, yep, that's it. And you can tell by body language where either the way he's throwing it down, like, hey, you're
Right.
going with this fastball up and in, like,
True.
do your thing, right? Believe it.
Yeah, I go.
I think but I mean you make a very good point, right? It's very conversational, and that what's crazy too is like from like the TGL, so you see the shot clock, right? That you pay attention to, but dude, you have guys who are talking about it and like they're throwing grass up 4 or 5 times trying to figure out like okay, it's swirling, like let's take you got 180, right? Which is normally your 7-iron club. Let's take a 6-iron, but only go 80% with it and just kind of flight it. And then it's cool to see it. And I mean, we do it all the time with ourselves, but then to actually see the execution and fly it, 170, like 180 in the air to where the wind knocks it down to like 170 is like, wow, that's pretty impressive.
Have you played a round of golf? I'm sure you have. Have you played rounds of golf with an actual caddy, whether it's like course included? Have you seen like any? Obviously, it's probably at courses that you don't play, and they're really nice courses. When they have these caddies, I feel like traditionally that's usually how it is. Would you say that your round is played a lot better because of the caddy, even if they don't know you and your shot?
Oh yeah, it gives you. So the times that I've done it, it's given me just it gives me a start line, right? Like knowing like, okay, I've been playing cut for the majority of the day, and the caddy's just telling you like, hey, don't try and turn it over, don't do anything different, just take the normal swing that you have. And he's like, aim in between the 2 bunkers on the left side. And I'm like, okay, cool. Or like off the tee, it's like, hey man, you're kind of tugging a little bit left. Like let's take it down the right side and just fire it along the tree line. If you go right, there's plenty of room over there to know like, okay, you're going to stay in. If you hit that kind of pull-ish draw that you've been hitting, you're going to be in the speed slot and you're going to like where it's at. So it kind of settles you to be like, cool. I'm clear that there's no hazard over on the right side if I block it, but also if I hit the shot that I've been hitting all day, I'm in go zone. So
okay.
it just gives you like a good,
especially like like I said, with courses you haven't played before, and you have like, oh, I didn't know there was water down there, or things like that, where you normally take a certain shot, where they're a blind shot.
Yeah.
And I've never played one with an actual caddy, but I think it'd be really interesting to see how my game is, where it's just like 260, huh? Over water, off the ground. trying to reach the par 5 and 2. Like, sorry, dude, you're not that guy. You just don't look like that guy. I'm sorry, you're just not. Just don't even try it, dude. Just stop. You're playing with like stopping you from shots that you might just take. And I know, at least for me, when it comes to golf, even when the camera's on, I'm all about the content. I'm all about, hey, if we could get this shot, that would be sick. And that's all I do when doing. I very rarely play smart golf. I play like, dude, if we can get this shot, oh, that'd be so sick content wise. I'm all about the content creation. 9 times out of 10, I fail, but I am trying. I
I
am
give it my
desperately
best.
I'm trying here. What is it? I'm freaking killing myself. What is it? R. Kelly? Or is that,
Yeah, I'm out here killing myself, man. Yeah, no, dude, I get it, man. I just a caddy, like I think everyone should experience a caddy. Like, okay, it's gonna happen at some point, but when we go play,
Pebble.
not even just Pebble, but when we just go play the in Monterey for the Pebble Beach golf courses, we should grab a caddy because I guarantee you it changes everything, and you're gonna be like, and I've caddied myself too, right? And
Mm,
it's like it just gives that voice in the player's head, like confirmation, or like kind of like, ooh, just another evaluation. It's just kind of, it's nice to have.
yeah.
I've never had a bad caddy experience. I feel like my caddy skills were pretty good. I don't feel like I've ever disappointed anybody playing, but I may have made a couple bad um reads, but other than that,
Yeah.
you know, I feel like I've done fine. So
Yeah.
yeah.
For sure. All right. I'm trying to think. Anything else we want to talk about? I know that they just had the Zurich. They didn't really watch too much of that, and I'm honestly blanking on who won. Um, it wasn't who we would think. You know, in terms of like a top ended leaderboard with Andrew Novak and Ben Griffin taking home the prize, 28 under. Um, and then you got the twins, Nikolai and Rasmus Højgaard. They were second. Jake Knapp and Frankie Capan the third place. David Lipsy, Dylan Wu, fourth place, tied with Taylor Dixon, Trace Crow. Again, like, wow, this was like not as like star-studded as it had in the past, like Roy McIlroy, Shane Lowry. Oh, they did play. They did. Roy McIlroy, Shane Lowry. They shot 20. They were 12th. Wow. Okay. I didn't watch too much of it. I think it's an interesting one, but it's not something that's really like on the top of my you must see this kind of watch, especially with the Live Mexico. I thought that was definitely more entertaining, especially with how insane the ball flights were.
Mhm.
Because I'm sure, like, if it was just me out there, what was it? Rick Shields. He did a video. Like he always does, like a video. The pre-round of at these courses to kind of show like what an average Joe. He's not an average Joe, but like a solid golf player would shoot at these courses. And
Mhm.
dude, his ball was flying. And
Dude,
he's like,
I
I
mean,
don't know what the heck. Like he knows what it was, but it's hard to sit there and be like, oh, my pitch was going to go 190 when it goes like 140 to tell yourself that it's going to go that.
dude, I mean, I've played enough golf in Mexico, but I've never experienced it like that. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I played in Cabo where I'm still kind of at sea level.
Right.
Um,
I think
but
Mexico City's like 7,000-8,000, which is wild.
yeah, 7,000, 8,000 feet up above. But
Mm-hmm.
when I played in Colorado,
Mm.
where I was, around the same, if not a little bit higher, but
Probably a
I
little
played
lower
at,
because the
uh,
Denver's
yeah, yeah,
5,000.
yeah,
So,
you're right. You're right. Yeah,
but
yeah, you're
still
right. Because
really high
I
from where we
was
are.
I was in Denver. So I played this
Okay.
course called Arrowhead.
Mm.
And I just remember even then, like there was it was 100, it was a par three, 145 yards, and I was hitting a 54 degree. And I was like, that's 20 yards, like that's 20 yards longer, right? And then they had one hole that was like the signature hole where there's literally this massive rock that goes through the fairway. And for the big hitters, like you
Mm-hmm.
could take it over, or for like for the shorter hitters, you just take it off to the left and then you hit up the hill and there it is. It's a par five, but like I smoked this ball right over the corner, and like everyone in our group was like, "Dude, you just hit that like 400 yards." They're like, "That's crazy."
It's
Yeah,
always a good feeling.
dude. My buddy Chris McGugan, who we were there playing for his company tournament. That was why we were there, and he got it perfectly on camera in slow mo, and it's like right when I hit it, it's just like, and the ball just takes off, and it's just on this perfect line the whole way, and then you just see it get over the top, and everyone's like, "That's insane!" Like, dude, it was crazy.
Oh,
So,
that's dope.
yeah, but all right, man. Well, also I shared with you that I did get the 3-pack of the Sunday Swagger shorts.
Yeah.
Very comfortable. I like them a lot. Um, I think I may have you. I think I may. I don't know. They seem long to me, right? Compared to like what I'm used to wearing. Not saying that like I'm out here wearing like my, look at my sexy leg
Jogger
pants.
shorts, or with the
Yeah,
jogger, what do they call it? Runner shorts or whatever, like the
yeah, like those. I don't even know. I don't know how
yeah, they're
people
nine
wear
inch.
those
They're
ones.
9 inch inseam.
Yeah, that is okay. So they
We're
are a
really
little
out
bit
here just
longer.
rocking boxers, just like I
Yeah,
can't
just a
brace.
5 inch just a 5 inch
Yeah.
inseam. I mean, so we were talking about the other day, but like, Lululemon's ABCs are 7. So
Mhm.
9, nine's a big deal, man.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, they're great shorts, dude. I love them. I got 2 pairs. I want to get a third, but I'm not sure on the third color. And also, I don't need them. Right
Mhm,
now, I don't need them per se because I could use both these pairs that I got. But yeah, great shorts. I'm really looking forward to see. I'm hoping they're gonna come out with like some like what do you call them, like some joggers or something sometime soon if they're kind of getting into this side of the clothing apparel for golf. They've already obviously went in the polos. They got hats. They got long sleeves or like jackets and stuff like that. Now they got shorts. And I'm hoping they can move their way into the joggers. That'd be cool. I mean, I love Primo. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, like, I would assume that they'd have it a little bit cheaper than
mhm.
Primo does. And uh, yeah, love their shorts, and I'm glad you like them too. And for me, they were short for me because I think what I'm used to playing is like 11 to 12 inch inseam with the Titleist or FootJoy ones that I've been playing with.
Mhm.
And I put them on at first. I was like, oh, these things are short. But then I play with them, and I was like, I'm gonna see how I look on camera. And I'm like, you know what? Not bad. I mean, I got the legs to pull it off. All right, I got the legs. All right.
You walk out and you're just like, "Stephanie, I'm feeling
Ooh,
I'm feeling
ooh.
a little naughty today."
Oh, jeez.
You're like, look at this thigh. You can tell the sun
Look at these
doesn't
ankles. Can you see these things?
Yeah,
Look at these ankles.
yeah, exactly. You can tell the sun hasn't touched much higher or too high up here. Dude, that's literally me, like, I don't know,
You have a
probably
line.
dude, literally, like, yeah, exactly 7 inches, like, above, like, like, right there. It's pasty white on my leg, and then it's the same thing, like, underneath my underneath my
The
shirt.
golfer
It's
tan,
bad,
bro, for sure.
dude. I don't have the sock tan because
You
I
mix
wear,
it up
like,
with your
the
socks. You don't like always
well,
have the same.
I wear those really low ankle stance socks,
Hmm.
and I mean, my whole ankle gets tanned, so
Hmm.
it my foot isn't awfully white.
Dude, back
It's
in high school,
brown.
I would only wear ankle socks,
I
and
did
I
too.
had the thickest. Like, you literally would take off my socks, and it looked like I was still wearing a pair of socks because I get
Yeah.
so tan. Like, it was. I wish I took a photo and had that photo still because like it was wild. Now I mixed it up with like crew socks, ankles, and whatever, so like it fades, so it kind of like meshes. It doesn't look bad, but dude,
Mhm.
there's literally a legit line because I always wore the same socks, and it was insane. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't feel comfortable taking off my socks. Dude, you're at the pool. Shut up. Leave me alone. Like,
I'm going in the pool with my socks,
leave me
just
alone.
like,
Water
uh,
shoes.
like
Loser.
like Sh like Shador when he got drafted by the Browns.
No, don't even talk to me about the draft, bro. I know the Niners didn't have a good one.
No,
So,
we did it. I mean, we made all these moves. We made all these moves to have these great picks and didn't do jack shit with it. But I mean, I don't know, dude. Your guys' QB room is going to be.
It's wild. I don't know. It'll be interesting.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know what to say.
But
I'm hoping for the best.
tell me why, and I'm not just taking this from the internet, but tell me why after day one when Shador didn't get picked, I'm literally thinking of Bo Callahan from draft day. Like,
oh, we all were. But I mean, the dude, we can go out on that lane. You know, like he doesn't seem like he's doing anything bad. It's just his dad is very vocal, and I think the fact that he got his number retired for not really doing anything, winning anything, Heisman, Player of the Year, championship, undefeated, or even like a Big 10 or whatever, Big 12 title or whatever, where it's like, what did you do for a number retired? That's usually something that emulates, well, you've made your mark here, not just like I'm the son of Dion, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that we got him in the 5th is a lot better than 2nd overall, like a lot of the mock drafts we're going with, but I'm okay with taking a 5th round flyer on him. Who cares? If he doesn't pan out, it doesn't pan out. If he does, great. But
I mean, I think that's what it's going to end up being for, who wants the job.
Right.
Who's going to do it for us? Yeah, dude, I love the clips of him and Cam Ward doing the workouts, and Cam's just like, dude, if I did little dump off passes, like my accuracy would be 90%. Like, what are you talking about? He's like, I actually throw the ball. He's like, yeah, but you got a run game. He's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, right.
Like,
yeah, I saw. Yeah, I've seen them all. Yeah. I get you. But good spot to end the pod for this week, and hope you guys have a great week. Don't forget to stay fly and go low. And Don Julio has a qualifier on Sunday, so pull for him. And I'll try to get him the TikTok info so he can maybe go live on there. Give us some updates on that. But good luck to you, and see you guys next week.
See you.